Elena Casas Montanez. Hello again to you, Elena. You've got our international press review here on France 24. You've been picking through the world's newspapers. What's making the headlines in the world's press today in this another day of this extraordinary year 2011?
Well, let's start with Belgium, because we've got these shocked front pages all around the world about just how this could have happened. If we look at the Belgian paper Le Soir, they've got some more very dramatic pictures there of people running away from that massacre, and indeed of people lying in the street after it. Now, inside they say it's the morning after, so it's time for the recriminations to begin, for people to start asking, how did he get hold of a weapon when he had a criminal record for illegal gun possession? Those are questions, of course, for the police to answer. But another question that a lot of the media are asking is this a kind of modern phenomenon, these kind of mass killings, people going on shooting rampages? The Belgian paper actually argues that it's not. They point to cases, one in 1978 when 7 people were killed in Belgium, another one in 1987, a similar case, someone just shooting at random in a market. So they say, well, it might be tempting to say that this is symptomatic of modern society in some way. It's actually not. These sort of things have happened for decades.
So we should be wary of any media hype there. OK, let's move on to the situation in Syria. Clearly 9 months of the uprising going on now. How are the papers continuing to cover that?
Well, of course, it's difficult for foreign correspondents to get into Syria and hard to verify the information coming out of it. But The Guardian have this piece here, torture on an industrial scale. This is from one of the only 2 foreign journalists who've actually been given a visa by the Syrian administration to go in and report on the situation in recent months. So
that's someone reporting under official supervision?
Exactly. It's someone who basically, as he would say, went around in a bubble for a week in Syria, hearing the regime's official view of things, during which they told him that there's no torture going on. They presented what he says called an unapologetic view of the regime. Afterwards, he went to meet dissidents in a safe house in Lebanon who told him extraordinary and quite graphic and horrifying stories of torture in that piece. And he says what's interesting about that is that there's videos popping up on YouTube and on the internet of Syrian soldiers torturing people who don't even seem to be worried about their identities being revealed. So it's a regime, he says, really acting under impunity. And there's another piece in The Guardian explaining why that is. They say Assad has no fear of the International Criminal Court because China and Russia would have to vote in order for the UN Security Council to indict him, and they simply never will.
OK, very interesting situation there. Now, another big story of this week is the US drone captured by Iran. Now, Washington's clearly not happy about that, but the Pakistani newspaper Dawn, well, seems to be rather happy about that situation.
Yes, they say it proves that Pakistan was right about drone policy all along. Of course, they've been criticising it hugely since unmanned drones started to be used in Pakistan in 2006. They say it's killed lots of innocent civilians. Now they say the Iranian story proves that it's actually bad for the US as well, because it looks like they've inadvertently leaked their technological secrets to Iran. OK,
on to briefly a bit of US politics. Some of the papers think things are looking up for President Obama.
Yes, there's a piece in the Daily Beast today saying he could still win a landslide. Now, they reckon that's because the Republicans are looking so chaotic and they've gone to such what they call extremist and obstructionist lengths that what most American voters really want is the return of sanity and civility, as they put it, to American politics. And so, really, the Republicans are doing Obama's campaigning for him. There's a piece in The Guardian making this point as well. They're looking at Fox News and what they call the conservative media machine. They say they're forcing the Republican candidates to fit into such tight parallels, such ideological boxes, that the vast majority of American voters who don't support those quite extremist views are more and more likely to vote for Obama.
Very interesting. And I guess, as they say, a week is a long time in politics, so it could all change fast.
Well, 10 months to an election is even longer, isn't it?
It certainly is. Thanks very much indeed, Elena Casas Montanez, there with our international press review here on France 24.